everybody. Welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie, Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie, Jessica, and author, Jagger Cole.
Hey, guys.
There he is. Okay, Mandy.
Okay.
Well, thanks. We want to thank you for being here. We're excited to have our first male author on the channel, which is great.
Ooh.
There's not a lot of you guys out there.
There's not. No, we're, yeah, I almost said we're a dying breed, but I don't think we were ever.
You don't think you were ever really here?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Lurking. Well, yeah, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be on.
And so before we get started, for those who don't know, you do keep your identity private. And so that's why the camera is black there. So if anybody was wondering what was going on, we're not having technical difficulties. That's just a privacy choice.
Yeah, sorry guys. You just have to look at us like always.
So I think probably one of the biggest questions that people probably have for you is, how did you become a romance writer? Because like we just talked about, it is very much a predominant female industry.
How did I? Good question. And now, I mean, it's funny because I'm like, I have this mindset where I'm like, oh, I'm a new author, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I've been doing this since 2020. So like, yeah, I mean, we're going on 6 years, which is a long time. I guess that doesn't, I don't know if that makes me a veteran, but it makes me not a newbie anymore. So, how did I start? I had read, I was a romance reader before. I like, I'm a big reader in general. Like at one point I was going to be I was an English major at college to begin with, and I think I was going to be a writer or like a poetry major or something ridiculous like that. I ended up switching to I went to school for music, so I got to tell my parents, "Don't worry, I won't be a poet. I will be a musician instead." And that did, I'm sure, nothing to with sleep.
Yeah, it didn't help them, I'm sure.
Yeah, not in the slightest. Right. So, but I still wrote, and I still, here and there, and I read a bunch of stuff, and I like to read, the highbrow, obnoxious books, and then, genre fiction. And I read a lot of like spy suspense, kind of like spy thrillers and stuff, and the Freedom McFadden level sort of, like domestic, I guess they're called domestic thrillers now, and romance. And I just got interested. I went down like the internet rabbit hole and fell into Reddit or something that was like some thread about somebody self-publishing on Amazon on KDP, and it was like, well, this is like a whole thing. I mean, you don't have to do like the trad pub grind where you're like, you have to have 5 books and you're pitching and you're like sending query letters that'll never get opened, and at the end of the day, like they'll deign to read your book and then give you a tenth of the money and tell you to go after yourself. So like it's and then I discovering that there was this whole ability to like just do it yourself, and I'm a big DIY person anyways, to an obnoxious degree, and yeah, I think I'm just OCD enough where like if I get into something, I just really get into it. And this is just one of those things that stuck, where I was like, I have a background in writing and reading and the genre to an extent. I had done some, not self-publishing, but I had written and published fan fiction stuff. Had gone down that rabbit hole years before, and had written some really weird Harry Potter fan fiction.
Of course, everybody does.
Right. I mean, there's some weird Harry Potter fan. I wasn't like raised eyebrow weird. It was, it was like normal weird.
You weren't writing like Omegaverse Harry Potter crossover kind of situation.
Snape nodding. No, there's the best one, I think, is Drapple. It's Draco Malfoy and an apple, like a literal apple.
Oh my gosh, no way.
There's like hundreds of stories of Draco having these like romantic sagas with an apple. And it's the fact that like not only does that exist like in one story, that there's like 200
Multiple.
stories. Oh, there's
Yes.
several of them. There's a bunch of them. And
That's
anyway,
crazy.
so I had all that under my belt, and I was like, okay, like I want to get into this. And I started writing shorter books because it's just the idea of writing a full novel was just I don't I was like, how do people write full books? And just for the record, I'm also gesturing with my hands right now, and I'm realizing
I
that
know.
no one can see me. I'm, like talking.
I
I'm
am
not even
nodding
Italian.
along with you, like I can see you and everything. It's great.
Yeah, and it just kind of it sort of evolved. I started writing and publishing these like short books, and I was reading a lot of like Frankie Love, these kind of like insta love kind of syrupy sweet, smutty shorter books. And I could write them, but I don't think I was really, they weren't my speed at all. Like I don't know. Not to say I didn't like what I was writing, but I didn't like what I was writing.
It wasn't
And
something you were going to go read.
no,
Right.
yeah, and it just like I was writing it because I could do it, and like, the idea of this a full book was just insane to me. And then I wrote bigger, shorter books, and then shorter books that were long enough to be short, long books. Like crossing that gray area, and then it just sort of like clicked. Like I started to write. I wrote a series of Bratva romance books, and I was like, okay, like this, I like this. Like this.
Yeah.
This clicks. This felt like I was like in my lane, and like it brought in enough of like the romance. It brought in kind of that spy thriller kind of suspense. I love like plot twists and the suspense and things you didn't see coming. So like to have a genre where I could do all that and world build, and here we are. I mean, 6 years later, I guess it's this whole thing. So
yeah, and the majority of your books, are they mafia? I mean, I know the ones that I've read are mafia. So
yeah, I mean, they venture into like dark contemporary or like mafia adjacent, but most of them all at least delve into the mafia. And they're all, I write in one open world. So
yes.
Yeah.
So people can kind of start anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how many books have you written? Because I was surprised to hear that you said that you started 6 years ago, because I feel like you have way more books than you should have for 6 years.
Yeah.
Good question. I feel like I should know this off the top of my head.
Not everybody does. They take a stab in the dark.
Or that's saying something when I don't, if it's a high enough number where I'm like, I don't know. Something like 6, 12, 18, like pushing 40, I think.
That's a lot of
Something
books
like
for 6
books.
years.
Yeah.
I hit a little bit of like a streak where I was, again, it's like that OCD-ness of mine where I get a little like really fixated on something, and it's like, wow, he's really interested in that subject. It's like, yeah, well, and I kind of, you get, it's really easy to fall into like the Amazon, especially with Amazon, like the churn of like, you got to have a next book, otherwise the algorithm will forget you and readers won't remember you. There's so many other authors, you got to keep putting out material, and it's such just a hole to fall into.
It's a hamster wheel for sure.
Yeah, and I'm slowing down this year. Like I'm only publishing 4 or 5 books this year.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, you know how many you're publishing this year? Only 4 or 5. 4 or 5. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
There's quite a few.
One down and like 3, possibly 4 more to go for the year. So.
Okay, and you do this full time?
Yeah. This is my full time gig. So. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have somewhere that you would recommend that people start, since you do have quite a few series?
Yeah. I mean, so all the books can be read, even the ones in the series can be read as standalones. I have 3 duets, but they're within series. So they're kind of like mild cliffhanger ending book ones, and but they're clearly marked. Yeah, I mean, the Dark Heart series tends to kind of be like, that's where a lot of people did start or have started or are starting right now. And so Deviant Hearts, I guess, would be like a really good starting place. That kind of like, wasn't like the first book of my world, but it was like the first, like, I had all these sort of like nebulous other worlds, and that one really kind of connected everything. And So yeah, but any series, reading, all my series can be read. I mean, you can pick up book 3 and be fine, to get the most enjoyment or the most out of it. I think reading them in the published order is probably the best for all of them. But so book 1 of any series, but Deviant Hearts is a really good, solid starting place.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
where
that's
I
where I
started.
started. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I started. I was looking to see. Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah.
So quite a few of your series are interconnected, correct?
Yeah, they all are.
Okay. So how
Yeah.
do you keep track of all of that? Like, because for a lot of
Mhm.
authors, they write a series, so they just keep track of like those 5 or 6 books, but you have almost 40
World.
books that you kind of have to keep track of every time you're writing. How do you do that?
I have this like the problem is it's one of those like like it works until it doesn't type of things where like I've had all these like documents that are like, yeah, I'll get around to organizing that later, and it's like
Mhm.
it's got for the like series sort of like cheat sheets that have like all the characters and who's going to be with who and sort of who's connected to who and who's related to who and how they relate to other series. I I've I've already started writing it obviously, but I'm writing the next gen series now, which is I've finally, I have like 6 series before this that had all. I'm still gesturing with my hands here. It's really funny, and I'm not Italian or anything, so I don't know why. But yeah. So I'm starting this next gen series that has all the heirs and kids of all these other couples from all these other series, and
Mhm.
now it has not. I don't want to say it's become a problem, but now it's like, okay, now it can't just be like the random Excel sheet
Yeah.
and a Word doc and like a phone note that I kind of reference, all 3 of these things kind of simultaneously. Like it needs to be like I need to really get these facts right because otherwise I'm going to trip over myself. And so
It's like
I've
almost
actually
like you need a binder, right?
yeah, exactly, binders
Mhm.
full of characters.
Mhm.
Um, and I have started making one of those weird like those like murder walls with like the red string and like I'm actually making one of those for the like
With the red string.
yeah, like I'm like literally went to Staples the other day and bought red string and blue string too, because I'm a visual person and I have it all written out now, but I'm like it's so big that I kind of just need to be able to like look to the side at my wall and be like, okay, like remember who's because there's so many like not only are these now the kids of all these characters, but there's like all these other series I wrote have all these like, whoa, that character is actually your surprise secret brother, or like that's actually your uncle. And there's so many things now where it's like, holy shit, like how am I
I
ever
have
gonna
a
like
feeling you're gonna need more than just red and blue string. I think you're gonna need like the whole rainbow going on there.
And
for sure,
suddenly
yeah.
you've written a very taboo mafia story.
Yeah.
I was doing that. I was like plotting out this next series, and there was one book where I was like really liking it, and it was like a lightning bolt moment where I was like, like that meme where I'm falling asleep at night and my brain was like, tap tap tap, like those 2 people are cousins. And I was like, God damn it, like, and I had to like draw it out, and I was like, damn it, they are cousins, like,
And then
yeah,
go, am I gonna write that? Like,
yeah, I was like,
am I the next Kay
can't do
Webster
that,
here? You know?
right?
I
Yeah.
don't think
So
anybody's ever written anything quite like that in the mafia world. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
That'll be its own thing.
Yeah, that would create like a whole nother level of problems in your story for you. Like
right,
you
right,
could,
Mhm.
yeah, like
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that like there wouldn't have to be any other conflict in the book.
That would be the
they're
whole
not even in
thing.
the mafia. They just have desk jobs and
Yeah.
like they're
I
in.
when you really get into mafia books, you kind of wonder how that hasn't happened because everybody's related to everybody in the mafia. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's just happening off page is all. Nobody sees that. Yeah. They're their own little towns within the world within these cities. So
But you
So
start to get into
asking,
like the sorry, like the nitty gritties of like they're sort of cousins by marriage, and you're like, I mean, it's not bad, and then you're
that's
like,
not
but
bad.
it's kind of bad. It feels the fact that I have to rationalize it feels like this isn't something I'm going to be writing about. So yeah.
Then you're like, did they grow up together? No, it's okay. They didn't grow up together. They're fine. Yep, I get that.
Gross.
Yep. It's so nasty. But it happens.
Well, asking about the next generation, if you would ever be writing a next generation, was one of my questions. So you told us that you are. When can we expect that?
I just announced it actually on Thursday and Friday this past week.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the Dark Descendants is the series title, and the first 3 books are on pre-order right now. So the book one is called The Devil We Crave, and that's the one with so that's May 26th is
Okay.
is that, I have that right?
Oh.
Do I have that right? The day after Memorial Day. I think I have
So
that
this
right.
is coming, like, this is your next series then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that is the 20. Yeah, because I'm
I
trying.
can
I'm like
look.
looking at the
I have a
calendar in my head
right here.
because we're gonna be in Nassau that week, but we go home that Thursday, which I think is the 28th.
May 26th
Tuesday's
is
the
the
6th.
Tuesday after
Tuesday.
Memorial Day.
Yeah.
So you're right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, May 26th.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
the next 2 books are on pre-order with very nebulous sort of vague dates,
Yeah.
which will certainly change. I think they're scheduled for like
Way out
right
there.
now, like August and December or something, and it'll probably be like July and September or something. So
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people don't know this, that for authors, when you want to hold a spot like that on Amazon, you typically have to put the date later than what you expect it, because you won't get in trouble that way if you release sooner.
Right.
But if you have to push the date back because you didn't release on time, then you get dinged or whatever they do to you guys
big
there.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they don't let you put up a pre-order for a year or something if you
Something crazy like that.
I did it once. I had to push a pre-order once, and I had COVID, and I just told them that. I was like, I have COVID. I'm really sorry. And nothing happened. I mean, like, knock on wood, they were fine,
Good.
which
Yeah.
is, not something you usually hear connected to Amazon. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. But yeah, typically that's why we see dates way out there. They might release a little bit sooner.
Yeah, because you can always kind of pull them back closer.
And then for somebody who hasn't read you, they don't have to read any of the other books. They can start on the 2nd gen without having to read.
Yeah, this is like another good, like, easy start point where there's like no prior. It's not going to rely heavily on like, you have to know who the parents are and how they got together and their draw. You really don't.
Yeah.
Like, it's
just an added bonus if you do.
Yeah, it just adds, more to the story. So
yeah.
Well, and if they don't know, they'll question that cousin situation less.
Exactly.
Cue the banjo music. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is kind of a unique question that I don't think we've really ever asked before, but I'm curious. Do you have a process for kind of, because your books, your mafia, can get pretty dark at times. So do you have like a process of how you balance like how much dark you're going to have versus like how much romance, or do you find like it just kind of works itself out?
Good question. I think it just kind of works itself out. At least now it does. I think when I was, say like 3 years ago or more, like, I think I did have to, I would do read throughs of rough drafts or something, or of a chapter or of sections of the book, and be like, okay, like, this, like, the thriller aspect of this is great, like, cool twists, but these feel like strangers involved in a mystery, not romantic, like, so like it's, I like having the twists and the darkness and the crazy stuff that happens, but like, remembering that this is a romance book that has mystery to it, not a mystery book that has a romance connected to it, and which is, there's a difference. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and like, I try, it's fiction, it's genre fiction, so like, of course, things are kind of, everything's more, like, everything's bigger and more bombastic, and because that's fiction, and that's what we want to read in the fantasy world. But like, I try to, at least when it comes to like the darker aspects of the book, or like the trauma or whatever, like, have it be meaningful and actually part of like a character trait, something that like actually drives someone, and not just trauma porn, you know, like not just like everyone has a horrible backstory and like everyone was
Right.
abused and like, you know, otherwise
Mhm.
it loses its punch factor, and also it just feels ridiculous if everyone in the book had this like, horrible upbringing and like
Yes.
you know, you want it to mean something, you know, it's not just to make people sad for them while they're reading the book. Like you want it to be part of like who they are as a character and how they progress as a character, and not just be this gratuitous like darkness that
Mm-hmm.
is there, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's like painting with, you know, two different tones and trying to find the right balance, I guess.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah.
Do you have a couple that was like your favorite, or a couple that was the most challenging for you to write?
um yeah, I'm just trying to figure out who they were. um
After 40
so,
books, I mean,
yeah, I mean,
same. No, go lay down.
I had, trying to think, there's been a few couples that yeah, I mean, like, so the two I can think of are um one was like a student teacher romance as part of, it was like book 4 of the Savage Airs series.
Mhm.
um and that one was just, I mean, yeah, because of the age gap, because of um yeah, the age gap, especially in it being like a student teacher, and it's high school, it's not a college student
Okay.
teacher romance, and
Mm-hmm.
it's, you know, characters are all 18, but like um it's it's also like, you know, right before we started we talked about this being obviously predominantly like a female led industry, and being the odd man out, pun intended, you know, like, and I'm 42 years old, so like to then write the book about like the guy in his early 40s who's like with like the college girl, like how do you write that where like it's the book, you're not, you
You're
know, like
not feeling,
there's
yes.
no misconception that this is like, you know, Jagger's writing his fantasies, you know, like it's not, you know, it's,
Oh.
whereas, you know,
Yeah.
I think I'm hyper cognizant of like making sure that's
Mhm.
never even like a thought, you know, like because
Mhm.
it isn't it's not
Yeah.
the writing process at all.
Yeah.
And just to make it, you know, I think anyone writing age gap, I mean, there's a line between like what's kind of like a forbidden sexiness and what is icky, and
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mhm.
a thin
Mm-hmm.
line, so like
Yes.
writing that one felt like a tightrope. And then more recently I wrote my first male romance, so this is part of this last series I wrote, um, which I just wanted to do.
Yeah.
I'm a straight guy, but I was just like, I want to write. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to try. I mean, I've you know, there's been more forays, I think, from bigger authors of gay romance entering into like contemporary and like dark romance and mafia. There's been a few of them over the last like what year or two, and
Mhm.
yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
just, and they were received so well. I was like, this is cool. Like this is,
Different.
what a cool like twist on the forbidden romance for mafia, to
Yeah.
make it like it's not just like, oh, he's with the wrong woman, he's with the wrong gender, and like that's is something interesting to, you know, a new twist of writing about it, and it creates, you can write a whole new dynamic where there's two men, where there's, especially if they're both these kind of like, you know,
Alpha.
aggressive alpha type
Mhm.
guys, where it's not so much of like the usual like kind of like, you know, not to say that every other hetero couple is like a dom sub thing, but like that there is a, you know, the male
Yes.
main character does tend to be more of the possessive dominant figure in the book, and like what if there's two
Mm-hmm.
of them, how do you navigate that? So and that was just difficult, just be, because it's the first time I did it, and I didn't want to just do the same thing with like adding in trauma, where you don't just want to write it, you know, a straight romance, but one of them happens to be also a guy in the book. You know, like, you don't want it to read like that. You want it to read like two men. Yes, I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
explaining it right,
Yeah, you
but
Mhm.
are. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just different.
yeah, it's a different
Mm-hmm. You
dynamic,
have to
and I wanted to do it the right
Mm-hmm.
just, you know, I wanted to give it the right justice. What am I saying? Do it service, or
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah, yes, exactly. But that age gap one, was that really the was he in his 40s and she 18? Was that, or
That one, well,
just
I've written
curious.
a couple age apps. That one was the one where I was like, this could get,
Yeah.
is this wiki like, yeah, it was like 18 and I think he's like mid 30s,
Okay, I'm just curious because
like
there's
he's like
times when we'll
34
read a
or
book
something like.
and the author will say it's age gap and it's like 5 years. Heck, even 10 years. And I'm like,
Right.
what? It's just 10 years. Because both Mandy and I, our husbands are a lot older than us. So for me, I need an age gap, not
Right.
a crack. I need a gap. So I'm just curious. So
Yeah, and then the other ones, I mean, I feel like it starts to matter less when it's like the younger of the two characters is like 25. Then you're like, no one really cares. Like,
yes, nobody cares.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I've read that even like with my husband being 14 years older than me. I met him when I was 24. So like
right,
for me, I'm like that. Whoop de friggin' do. We're both
right. He
adults.
wasn't
So
your junior
when I
high
read
school
books like
teacher,
that,
so like,
no, no,
it's it's
no, no. Yeah, didn't know him then. But yeah, so when I read that in books, I'm like, I give me an age gap. Like, and if you're going to make it taboo, then it needs to be taboo.
yeah,
So yeah, I love that. I'm just curious. Gonna have to go grab that one now. So yeah, you're going back and putting a lot of your books on audio right
yeah,
now.
yeah,
What do you have coming up for audio? Anything?
yeah. Every book. Hang on, before I say
Something's
something
coming
that's not
soon
true.
because I
Did you put
applied
it
for
down?
the ALC for it.
Something is,
um,
yeah.
yeah, the rest of the Darkest Dance series, which is my latest series that just wrapped up, um, which kind of revolved around a ballet company and also kind of like an underground mafia secret society thing, and um, that just wrapped up, and that was 7 books, and I think the first has book 2 released in audio. I
I
should know
have
What
this.
did
written
you?
down that Dance of Rune comes out March 31st.
That's all right. So that's book 2. Yeah. So book 2 is about to come out
Okay.
on audio.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest we take a little break, and then because I'm working with Podium
Yeah.
Publishing, which is an audiobook publisher.
Mm-hmm.
I know people who have produced their own audiobooks. I don't think I have the bandwidth to do
No,
that.
it's a lot.
Which is the irony there is I have a background in music and live audio recording. So like in my house, I do have like professional level recording equipment and stuff, but um, I don't have the narrators, and I
Yeah.
don't think I'd be narrating them myself. So
I don't know.
um,
We know an author who narrates her own books, and she does a
really,
fantabulous job.
Mm-hmm.
all right, all right.
Yeah, I mean, she did. I think she did say. Didn't she say she took a couple classes though, Mandy? Do you remember that?
I think she did work with a vocal coach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll tell you afterwards. We could hook you guys up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take
She can tell
some.
you how it is. Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah. I mean, I think that puts almost all. Well, there's 2 older series which aren't in audio yet. I don't know if they will be anytime soon, but yeah, I think there's 1, 2, 3 full ones I think are released in audio. Right? I'm trying to
Of the
think if
you've had a
there's a
lot come out within the last year or two in audio.
yeah, because they
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
they approached me, and it was I hadn't done it before just because of time and resources, and
Yeah,
not,
and they're
Mm-hmm.
expensive.
and they are, yeah,
Mhm.
and yeah, so when we kind of started working together, all of a sudden a bunch of them sort of kind of roll out
Mhm.
in a pretty short amount of
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
um,
It was exciting though. I remember seeing that when they first started coming out. And I was like, oh yay, Jagger's finally getting audio.
yeah,
So
the next step is to get it so I can release ebooks and audio at the same time.
it
Mm-hmm.
takes
It
a lot
just
of planning.
it's just that's what I'm trying to do with this next series, is be ahead of the game by at least a book or 2.
Yeah.
Because they need them like 4 or 5 months in advance to have them done in time. Like I'm not I wish I could
Yeah.
say there are authors who I'm so jealous of, I know, I'm friends with authors who are writing books right now that are releasing in like the end of 2027, and like
Yeah.
who are you, like what?
Yes.
How do you,
Yeah. There are some
what the
that
hell,
really
like,
plan it out and Yeah, because
Mhm.
we have author friends that say that too. You know, like what's coming? And they're like, oh, I don't know. I finished it last year. Let me go look. I don't, you know. Wow. Okay. So
Psychopaths. Yeah, that's
yeah.
like
Yeah. How
those,
dare they plan them like that?
right?
Yeah.
People out there
So,
ironing their underwear and planning books 3 years in
with
advance, and
starch.
like, nope.
Yes. Yeah.
I think in some cases they kind of stop publishing for like almost a 6 month to like closer to a year
Yeah,
window to
Hmm.
get onto that track.
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
have to. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm usually every like 8 or 9 weeks, I think, publishing,
Hmm. Hmm.
which is actually insane when I say it
It's
out loud. You know,
crazy
Mhm.
like
busy. Yes. Yeah.
I've been like
Yeah.
really trying to like, as I'm mentally preparing to like not have that many releases this
Hmm.
year, relatively speaking, and to look back on the last few years and just be like, Jesus, like
That's a
that was a
lot.
lot of
I
releases.
know.
Like
And I know
that's kind of a blur. Like,
it was a lot. It's a lot of books.
yeah,
I know there's another author too that I know that she writes the first half of the year, she'll write the book, and she writes
okay,
in trilogies. Like hers is they're all trilogies. So she'll write the first three and not do anything but write in the first 6 months of the year. Then everything goes to audio and stuff, and then at the very tail end of the year, she'll release them one right after the other. So you don't have to wait more than a couple weeks, but that's how she's able to do all of hers and get them on audio and whatever too. So she writes the
that's
first
pretty
half,
cool. Yeah,
publishes
that's
the
pretty
last
cool.
half. Yeah. Yeah. And then
Um,
people aren't waiting. So that's another
yeah,
one.
yeah,
Another way to do it.
but yeah. So slowing down seems. I mean, it's an overall really good thing for like for my books, for my mental state, for
For your
my
family.
family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and your
um,
books are not always super short either. You write some
Mhm.
pretty long
no, they're pretty
books.
long. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the last bunch have been. I mean, at least like 95,000. I think in word count, but like 95,000 words, which is definitely over 500 pages.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so.
You've been getting thicker and thicker. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
when you were first talking about how you were writing short stories, I was like, well, something changed.
I was like, oh, I can. I
Hmm.
write fast too, so that helps. I'm a fast typer, I guess, and I planned everything out meticulously before I even started. Where I need to know like what's happening in basically every chapter in terms of stage blocking and some dialogue snippets and where the plot's going and how the whole book ends and the twist. Like I need all
Hmm.
of that before I can even start writing book one. I probably, it would be a
Yeah.
good thing to be able to not have to do that, but I do. But it means I can write the book really quickly because I have this quote
Yeah.
outline that is like
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
35,000 words at that point, where it's just you're
Hmm.
now just taking a whole book that has been squished down into like something not nice to read, and now giving it air again to kind of turn it back into this full book.
Hmm. Hmm.
So,
Yeah. So you're definitely, what do they call it, Mandy? A prancer or a pacer? You're definitely a pacer then.
is
You
that what
have
that
your,
is?
I
Pacer or
think so.
Prancer?
I think
Answer.
Prancer is the one where they prance around and go from chapter to chapter. Pacers where I thought was where they have everything lined up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think
Yeah, I
that's
mean
how I interpret
that's
it.
another psychopath trait. I mean, who's people who are like, I'm going to write chapter 13 and then go back to chapter
I
6
know.
and like,
But
what
I
the
know there's authors that do that
no?
and they're like, yeah, and then I just make it happen. I was ARC reading for an author. I do it for a couple of different authors, not ARC reading, alpha reading for an author. And that is what she had done. Cause I was like, wait, but in the chapter before you said that this happened, but in the next chapter they're talking about that not happening yet. And she's like, oops, got them backwards. And I'm like, what? Like, how did you get them back? What? Don't you just write linear? But no, that's not how she does it.
I mean, good
So
on them, I guess.
I don't know. I was like,
Yeah,
wow,
that's
okay.
crazy though. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah. I couldn't
I
do that.
feel like you could write one of your characters to be this like psychopath, that writes all this weird way and then like publishes like a year out and irons their
Yeah.
underwear
With
and
starch.
everybody will be terrified of them.
Who is
Yes.
this maniac? Yeah.
Yeah. This is a real psychopath here. Yep. Yep. Forget the stalker. It's this guy. Mhm.
Well, we're getting close to the end of
Yeah.
our time together. So the question I want to ask, and I'm sure people at home want to know this too, is will we ever see you at like an author signing or a book event, do you think that like, is there anything particular that would have to happen for you to decide to reveal yourself and come to one of those? Or
No, I mean, not no. I mean, there's not some firm thing where I'm like, if this happens, like I'll
Mhm.
be at the next, like Windy and whatever,
Wild and windy.
Yeah, Wild and Windy. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I've joked with author friends about just like showing up to a signing or something and just walking around. I mean, it's not like it's not, it's mostly like I hate to say that, it's mostly with signings and readers. Like there's a, Sky Warren for a
Mhm.
couple years now, and she didn't do it last year. I don't know if she's doing it this year. She has this huge, not huge, I mean, it's like, well, it's big. It's like 500 people, I think, called the Romance Author Mastermind Conference in Houston,
Okay.
and which I've gone to, I think, like 2 or 3 times now, and it's, I guess, once virtually and twice in person. And it was, I mean, it was the first time I was out, I guess, as an author, and it was also funny because I've gone in other careers, I've gone to work conferences where it's a heavily male field, and then there's like it's 1,000 guys in a room and like 30 women, and I got to be the other side now.
Yep.
I walk into a conference room with 500 super successful women, and I'm like, it's me and like one other guy, and the other guy works for the hotel where it's being held. So it's like, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, there's another. Oh no, he's a
No.
caterer. So it's like,
Mhm.
which is intimidating. And but then I don't know. It's not. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
the day goes on, and you're like, we're all just a bunch of introverts who write about
It's true.
like relationships and are
Mhm.
forced to be in a giant room together, which is hilarious because we're all clearly introverts, which is how we
Yes.
became authors.
Mhm.
Yep.
So yeah, maybe, I
Mhm.
mean, I think I've joked with my wife about yeah, when I get the Netflix deal, I'll just say screw it, and because also like I mean, no one really in my life even knows what I do. Like
Okay.
I get to basically live as like this weird secret agent thing where like even my parents, like, they know I'm a writer. People know I write, but like a lot of people don't know what I
They
write.
don't know what you're eating. Oh, that's
No, yeah,
interesting.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and at this point, like, I don't care anymore so much, but like the lie
Mhm.
has gone on for so long that it's weird to
So,
correct
like,
it. So
your
like,
parents don't ask to read your books or anything, or ask to
no,
know what you're
I tell them
publishing?
no, no, because they think I'm a ghostwriter for for like
Oh,
a
okay.
well-known crime fiction novelist, which I may have alluded to being James Patterson.
Oh my God, you
And
did it.
and then I have all these NDAs, and I'd love to give them my books, and I just can't. Um, I'm taking my dad on a trip in a few months for his 80th birthday, and I'm thinking about just making it where we just like clear the table, clear the air. He's sharp enough where I think he understands that I'm feeding them bullshit, but
Yeah, yeah,
he doesn't
yeah.
quite like. It's clear at this point I'm not dealing drugs, but like, what am I?
I'm
What am
like,
I
what
doing? Because
are
it's not
are your
ghostwriting for James
in-laws
Patterson.
like? What is that bum doing with our daughter? He doesn't even work. I mean, like, is that the case?
It's
What is
like,
going on?
yeah, like, oh, he goes to
Yeah.
this office every day and he writes. Like,
Did
what's
you do
that
air
about? Yeah,
quotes?
I've
Just
actually restrained myself. I did the eyebrows instead, actually. So it's like,
wow. I love this. I think this is awesome, but can you record that when you actually tell your father? Just send us the video. We won't share it. But I've got to see this. Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's
And
interesting.
my sister does know what I write, and
Okay.
I don't know if she's ever accidentally spilled the beans, and like,
Mhm.
they've been. I don't. My mom definitely doesn't know, because if she knew, she would say something. My dad, there's like a 90% chance he doesn't know, but like
Okay.
there's like a little, I don't know. So
Yeah. So and I'm
so yeah,
assuming you write under a pen name, so it's not like they can just go Google your name and find
for sure,
what you're
yeah,
writing.
my name is
Yeah.
not actually Jagger, so
Mm.
I wish I was that cool, but
I was gonna say, and we
The
all did. We were
best
'80s kids,
the
for sure,
best
yeah.
plot to this would be if you told your dad and he was like, I know, I've read all your books.
Or your mom.
Or yeah, to my parents and my dad's like, actually, I'm Rena Kent.
Yeah,
Like,
that would be
I'm like, what? Like,
what?
triple
Whoa!
twist. Like,
Plot twist.
I think you should take some of this life story and write it for one of
In the
your
book.
characters. Like one of
Yes.
your mafia made men could be like secretly a romance writer, and he
On the
doesn't want anyone
side,
to know
yeah.
because the mafia guys would be
that
really
would
mean to
be
him.
That would be awesome.
so meta. And so like,
I love it though. That's awesome.
yeah, that's a good. I like that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Gonna have
So
to
we'll
come
see.
clean
Yeah.
at
So
some
if
point.
if the Netflix deal comes through next week, you'll see me on Facebook, just like,
This
this is
I
me.
had to
Here
come
I
clean.
am. Yeah. Like,
Yeah. Well, if you ever do show up at a signing, let us know which one you're going to go to. We'll make sure we're there. So
I will. Yeah, I will.
mhm.
They look like a lot of fun. I mean,
They are. They're so much
I
fun.
would.
We do like what,
Yeah.
Mandy? 6,
We
7,
go
8
to
a
a
year.
lot.
We go to a
Wow, okay.
lot.
Yeah.
And they're always fun. And even like the ones where we're like, ah, well, all of our favorite authors there, we've seen them 30 times. Well, now we're friends with them at this point.
Yeah.
It, you know, thank God it's not the, oh my God, there's those girls again, they're stalking us. It's more like there's our friends. So,
Right.
but we have a
Well,
great
you
time.
never know. That could
Yeah.
be happening too.
Could be saying that too. Who knows? But yeah, we have a great time.
You're seeing them in a convention. You're not looking in their bathroom windows. So, you know.
No, we have not
No.
done that yet.
Yet.
You're like, no, obviously we're not. Clearly not doing that.
I mean, I live on the Washington Canadian border. There's several of our favorite authors that are just right across the border in Vancouver.
Okay.
I mean, I'm close, but I haven't gone to their houses yet. No.
Like, I've driven by, but I haven't,
Driven by a few times
yeah,
at
slowed,
night.
but
Well,
Slowed
we
down a
used
little
to do
bit.
that in high school, not by
Not with authors. That was
houses,
with
but
boys, Mandy. We drove past boys'
Yes.
houses. Yeah.
like
I mean-
famous. Are we talking like you're driving past the houses of like the members of NSYNC or something, or are we like?
no,
Oh, not the
boys
tiny town we live
Jessica
in.
had crushes on.
And
Oh,
Mandy.
okay.
Don't let her fool you. No, there was one time though that my parents lived next door to this guy in Idaho that was like, who was it? Kevin
he
Costner.
was best friends with Kevin Costner.
Yes, and Kevin stayed there when he was filming The Postman, and so you and I on spring break just rode up and down that road past his
Trying
house.
to see if we would ever see Kevin Costner. Spoiler: we did not.
We were barely 18. I don't know what Kevin Costner would want with us. Okay, it was not cute.
I
but
don't think we were expecting anything to happen. We just wanted to be able to go home and be like, we saw Kevin Costner. We grew up in a very small town. Not much happened.
tiny.
Okay, yeah.
Nothing ever happened, and if it did, I knew about it because my grandpa was the chief of police, so we didn't get invited
Okay,
to anything either
that's
because
small
my
town,
grandpa
yeah,
was the chief of police. So
I was gonna say I grew up in a small town, but like I think you have me beat with when your grandfather's the chief of police. That's
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how small yours was, but ours was so small that we graduated with this. Well, I did. Mandy transferred schools, but I graduated with the same 30 kids that I started preschool with.
Yikes.
We had 30
my
kids in our
graduating
graduation.
class in high school was probably like 110 or something.
Oh, that was
That's
huge compared to what we
huge.
had. That's huge.
Massive.
My husband went to school in New York and on Long Island, and his yearbook is like this thick. Ours is like
Yeah,
this.
my wife's like that too.
So-
We're like, our graduating class was like 1,000 kids. I was like,
Yeah.
what? Like,
Just a minute. Sorry, I got a whining dog. Yeah, no. Small town, for sure. Mhm. All right, Mandy, are we good?
I think so. Well, thank
Okay.
you so much for being here. And
Mhm.
we are very excited for the Next Generation series to
Thank
come out.
you.
Does
Yeah,
it
me
have a
too. Thanks
title
for-
yet?
For this, yeah, the series is Dark Descendants,
Oh, that's right. You did say
and
that.
it's it all takes place at there's a like a mafia college I've like breadcrumbed across like 4 series or something at this point called Knight's
Yep.
Blood, and that's where this is all taking place. So it's
Cool.
very much like a dark academia kind of. There's a lot of Hogwarts influence in there with there's 4 secret clubs that students can join, and there's a little bit of like a sorting hat thing going on, and like I'm excited. It's all the nerdy shit that I've
So-
accumulated over like 30 years of being a dork, and it's all coming out. So,
So this is where that fan fiction crosses over with your writing now, huh?
I can finally delve back into all my like uncomfortable Harry Potter fanfic and be like,
Does anybody have an apple
I
for
was
a
just
love
gonna
interest?
so yeah. And the book one is The Devil We Crave.
Okay.
And then The Villain We Tempt and The Carnage We Keep are the first
Okay.
3 books, and they're up on Amazon.
Awesome.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So everybody go pre-order.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Of course. And when you get ready to have a new release, let us know. We'll pop you back on here and talk about the new release.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in and watching, and we'll see you in the next video.